This is the Nauti Dogs.
The boat, not the dogs.
That's right, because these are good boys. Yes, you are. You're a good boy. This 1989 CT-56 is a Robert Perry design and built by the Tachao Brothers Shipyard in Taiwan. The 56 was built from 1986 to 1991 and is commonly grouped with the CT-54 that was built from 1975 to 1986. This is the only CT ever built that came from the factory with a fiberglass deck instead of the teak deck that could be prone to leaking. Even to this day, the CTs are considered high-quality blue water cruising boats. So let's take a closer look at the craftsmanship of the CT-56 Nauti Dogs. So we are going to give you a tour of the boat today. I'm going to handle the outside and the mechanical stuff.
And I'm going to take you down inside.
All right, so we'll let her have the camera while you film the outside while I take you around. Welcome aboard the Nauti Dogs. This is the bow of the boat. We have all new sails on it from Precision Sails. Thank you guys so much. This is, I'm not exactly how sure what percentage-wise is, but it's Genoa. It's got a really cool logo on it. But then this is the bowsprit. We still have a little work to do. We've already redone a lot of the teak on the cap rails and stuff. We still have a lot more teak to do, obviously. But it's really cool when you're underway, hanging out here. Just, I mean, the waves and it's just nice. And then we still haven't had any dolphins swimming or bow wave in this one yet, but I'm sure it'll be pretty amazing seeing them do that when you're right above them. We have 2 anchors here. We have, what is that, 3/8" chain, 300 feet of it on this one, 200 feet on this one. The anchors work really well. And then a windlass back here, it doesn't have a down function. It free falls down and then you got a button to come up with it. Here, but really when you live on a boat full time, I mean, it's kind of what happens. You know, we have 2 paddle boards here. We haven't even used these yet, but hopefully they work well. This is the windlass I was talking about, this big behemoth of a thing. It's pretty powerful. It's got the up button here, but it just free falls down. I got a little lever I roll in there and it goes down. This giant thing is our bean bag. It's actually a foam bag. When we first got it, we're like, oh my God, it's huge, it's too big. And now we like it because we can put all of us on there and the dogs, and it's great. This is actually a hookah rig, so we can attach some hoses there and we can dive under the boat. You can go 2 people down to 60 feet with this thing. Haven't used it yet, don't know if it works, but looking forward to trying that in someday. This is just storage for extra lines and tools and things we might need. We have the derades for extra airflow. We do have to come forward on the mast to do reefing and to hoist the sails. Not all the lines run aft. That's just, you know, it's 1989. They didn't do that on a lot of boats, but it is pretty nice. It has these steps that go up quite a good ways. And new mainsail again from Precision Sails. Oh, I forgot. We do have a staysail as well. We've actually used that. It comes in handy when it's pretty high winds. We just put that out instead of rolling out to Genoa. These are our dog boarding devices, Maverick and Goose. You know, they're not humans, they can't climb on a boat like we do, so we have, this one is for when we're at a marina. They just kind of jump down onto the dock. This dock is actually high enough that we don't need it. And then this one is for when we're at an anchor, and they jump down on that and then into the dinghy. They're a little awkward with it, but they're learning and they're getting better at it. One thing we installed on all the lower deck is this C-Deck DEK. It's really nice. It's super grippy for the dogs. They don't slide around as much. It's softer for us. If you're coming up here working on something, you go down on a knee, it doesn't scuff up your knee. It's really soft. It's fairly easy to keep clean. It's just like the deck. It may take a little more scrubbing to keep it clean, but it does pretty well. On top here, we have our life raft. We have a little folding bicycle, which we've never actually used, so I don't even know if it works. And of course, our main sheet and our traveler lines. And kind of the cool thing is that both the main and the mizzen sail sit on these cradles that make it nice. So, you know, when you're at anchor or in a marina, like it's pretty rolly in this marina, and the sail's not flapping back and forth because it's sitting in its cradle. And then after we go back, we have a really comfortable cockpit. We'll show that to you now. This is the cockpit here. We do have a full enclosure. We've replaced most of the isinglass. We're still working on that. But now that it's kind of warm down here, we've unzipped it and it's nice and open. It's really comfortable here. Unfortunately, somehow a lot of the cockpit cushions didn't make it with the boat. There's only 2. So what we did is we bought this lawn furniture stuff right here and we cut it up as we needed it and re-sewed it to fit better squares. And so just set everything here, a bunch of throw pillows, and I mean, it's really comfortable in here. It really is. And then it's got 2 different cockpits. You got this section here and then kind of more of the working cockpit here. So, you know, you're messing with all the lines and the steering and everything from this cockpit, and then the forward cockpit's just kind of hanging out and lounging. And then up here, We do have this LED lighting that we can change the color on it, so we can make it red at night for when we're sailing, or we can make it disco and whatever you want to do. This is the helm station. It's hydraulic steering, so when the autopilot's engaged and you're turning, the wheel doesn't actually turn. It's kind of interesting. And you don't really get any feedback on hydraulic. So like if you're heeled over and you got the manual steering on a regular boat and you're turning, you can kind of feel it pushing back against you, where this one you really can't. But it's nice, it works really well. A Garmin 7212 chart plotter, all our instruments over here, and one thing it does have is really cool is a bow thruster. It's really come in handy because this boat has a full keel and a skeg rudder. So reversing this thing, it basically, you don't really have much in the way of steering in reverse, especially at slow speeds. So that bow thruster really helps. You have your throttle here, your engine controls on this side, the engine instruments down here. And it's just nice and comfortable. You can see pretty well. You got to look around the mizzen mast, but it's okay. Back here on the stern of the boat, we have the dogs' little grass mat where they do their business. Little hose right here where you can wash it off, and there's a vent down there where it runs off into. The poo just kind of gets flung over the side, but that's what you got to do. Davit's here with the dinghy on it, and really cool. The dinghy's 6 years old, and I believe the motor is as well. But it's doing well, and it's got a 20 horsepower motor, which really helps you get up on plane. We've had 3 people and 2 dogs that still gotten up on plane and done like 16, 20 knots. So it's really nice. Fish cleaning station. I'm not really a big fisherman, but it is what it is. We have a little grill over here. We still haven't been able to get to work, but we'll get on it eventually. A stern anchor, and then on top of the bimini and on the wings, we have, so on the side rails, we have our solar panels that'll come out, have a total of 560 watts, but being the set out on the boat, the most I've ever seen the solar panels create is about 280 watts, just because of the way the boat's set up. Half the panels are going to be in shade, just the way it is. But you deal with the space you have.
All right, come on down.
I will let Taylor show you most of this, but I just want to go over some of the more technical sides of it. This is the nav station. We've got our Garmin, it's the 6208, and then we have some wind instruments. We have an HF radio. Actually, haven't even tested to see if it works. We have our Fusion stereo. I replaced that, it works really well. Our battery monitors right here, and engine generator controls as well. Obviously a HF, VHF radio, and then we have our solar chargers there. So that's kind of the command center there. Under here is a 9 kilowatt Northern Lights generator, and then under the middle part is our Ford Lehman 135 horsepower diesel motor. It only has like less than 4,000 hours. Apparently those things will run forever, so pretty happy about that. The battery bank lives under here. There's 9 105 amp hour 12 volt batteries, AGM. So it does have 2 water tanks and 2 fuel tanks, one on each side, and they live next underneath here. The water tanks are forward, holds 240 gallons of water, 120 in each tank, and then it does have 300 gallons of diesel, 150 in each tank. The great thing, the water, it has a water maker installed, but it's not working. We will replace that eventually when we raise enough money. But with 240 gallons of water for 2 or 3 people, we can easily go 3 weeks, 4 weeks. 4 weeks if we ration, definitely 3 weeks, no problem with the water we have without the water maker. It's really a comfortable boat, so I will let Taylor shake you on a tour. Welcome
to the main salon. Because it is a monohull, it is very wide, or beamy as people say. We do have a 16-foot beam. So this area, as you can see, is very nice and comfortable. Really feels like a homey living room. The only downside to that, though, is that it does sacrifice some of the cabin space. The master bedroom is very big, but this area is sacrificed, but I think it's worth it. So we've got storage underneath all the seats here, and then you can see all the cupboards that we have to store everything. We've got our nice TV that we can just relax and, you know, chill out. Having these big, huge windows here is really great. You've really got almost a full view even when you're underway, so you can be down here and not be super worried or having to run up and check all the time, which is really great. You've got almost 270 degrees of full view, which is wonderful. And now we've got the grand ballroom staircase entrance. There's actually even storage underneath here. Keep the first aid kit in there. And then we've got our fancy schmancy scooters that we keep here. This is the dryer, there's more storage under there, and the washer over there. Now coming forward, my cabin has got a great amount of storage. All these cupboards throughout here, I can hold all of my clothes and things like that, which is really, really great. And it's a decent sized bed in this one too, so very comfortable for sure. Now, I didn't realize this was here for the first couple of days because this bathroom door was hiding it, but we opened it up and there's a closet here as well, so you can, you know, hang whatever you need to hang. And then this is where Tara's staying. We call this the coffin because your feet are kind of enclosed under there. It's very cozy. Coming forward into the bathroom here, I call it the ladies' room. We have all of our facilities. It's a pump toilet and it uses salt water, which is really great. We're not using our fresh water. The shower here, which just goes down into the bilge, and then a nice amount of mirrors, which is good for the ladies, and lots of storage all in here. And then, if you remember from the podcast, I talked about the forward storage locker and how I've been trying to keep it organized. I have officially given up. This technically actually could be another cabin. These, what looks like storage shelves here, could actually be set up as like captain's quarters. So this could double as another cabin, but it's not really necessary and we need the room to store all of our stuff. Moving aft here, we've got the little dining station slash editing station. It does actually go down and double as a bed as well, but we like to keep it set up this way. We don't actually use it for dining because we keep it kind of a permanent station, editing station set up, but it's a good area. And this comes up as a bench here on either side and the table folds up. And the most important part of the boat, the galley. We really do have a wonderful space here. We've got the freezer here, refrigerator here, and you can access it from the side as well. Double sink, which is really great to have, propane stove, and it's on a gimbal so it moves as we're underway. Lots of storage for all the provisioning and everything like that. And last but not least, moving back into the master cabin. This is the most spacious area. So it really is the most spacious, comfortable area of the boat for sure. Again, tons of storage, which is one of the nicest features about the whole boat, is there's never a shortage of storage. So you've got the full kind of dual closet here, settees on either side. You've got a mirror and a cabinet here. You've got the beautiful view out the back windows and the skylight, which makes it really comfortable back here. The plus side of monohulls, especially this one, is compared to catamarans, the master bedroom's only the size of the hull in catamarans, which is a lot smaller. So having this here, the full beam of the boat, you've really got a great space in here. And finally, what I call the boys' bathroom, because this one's kind of smelly. Again, great storage in here, cupboards all around. This bathroom actually does have a bathtub, so if you really wanted to take a bath, you could, and then a great kind of getting ready space and sink area here as well.
Well, thank you for watching the Boat Tour Tuesday, the tour of the boat. Hopefully you get a better feeling of what it's like being on this boat. I don't know, I've enjoyed it so far. How about you? Absolutely, yeah. It feels more like a home than any other boat I've been on. I mean, it really does feel like a home instead of just a boat we're on temporarily, so it's pretty nice. All right, so if you're enjoying it, please click that thumbs up and subscribe. We really appreciate you. And if you're really enjoying it, it's patreon.com/sailingdoodles. That's how we fund this whole thing. Be sure to check out Flying Doodles, and we have a new podcast, the Doodles Podcast. You can see an interview with her, our other crew member that joined for a little while, and all this other stuff. So come on.